All right, please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Good morning. My name is Cedric Littleberry, 354-512.
Thanks, Cedric. My name is Brennan Kelsey. Along with me is Ms. Renata and Mr. Roche. I will be your panel, explain the process to you, read some information to the record, have a full interview, ask you some questions. You can respond. At the end, you can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Sir.
And we, looks like we have, Ms. April Shivers, George Dawson, Adrian Shaw, Kendria Talton, and Deidra Towson. And next statement at the appropriate time. Cedric Littleberry, DOC number 354512. You're a third class offender for eligibility date 5/30/2022. Good time 11/17/2035. Full term 11/12/11/2039. 40-year sentence.
Yes, sir.
Armed robbery, 4 counts of armed robbery. Does that sound correct? Count 4 on robbery and count 1 on robbery. Does that sound correct?
No, sir. I had a attempted armed robbery and armed robbery. Yes,
Attempted, yes, attempted and armed robbery count 1 and armed robbery count 4. That's right.
yes, sir.
All right. All right, Cedric, how old are you, Cedric?
45, 46 in May.
How many years have you been incarcerated on this 40-year sentence?
23.
3 years.
23 years, yes, sir.
Yeah, 23.
Yes, sir.
Right. 2-3. What do you currently do there at the facility?
I'm
What
the
kind of job? Are you a trustee? What are you?
I'm the head baker on 18. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry.
Head baker? The head baker on 18.
I'm the head baker. I've been the head baker for 6 years.
Okay. Like say hello to Warden Day. Looks like he snuck in on us. Hey, Warden. How long have you been the head baker?
6 years now.
When's your last disciplinary write-up?
When was it or what was
Yep.
it?
Yeah, when was it? I know what it was. I mean, I won't tell about it. I'm looking at it. But
I'm pretty sure it was right at a year and a half ago.
don't be pretty sure. Tell me when it was.
A year and a half ago. January of 22.
Okay, January of 22. Okay, tell me what it was.
I don't remember the exact write-up, but it was disobedience or maybe me and the officer had a minor verbal altercation at a gate. Do you want me to explain the write-up or just?
Yes, the aggravated disobedience looks like you had in 22 and 21 you had a disobedience, and then it looks like in 21 you had a contraband, right? I mean, that's kind of.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about those 3. How about that?
Which one you want me to speak on first, sir?
Hey, you pick one. You pick one.
Okay, the contraband was I got wrote up for having dry dip in my pocket. I was accused of smoking. It was wet dip. I pled guilty on it. The incident at the gate, it occurred. I was leaving work one morning. I was taking some trays. I was told to take some trays to the cell block, and the officer, we was in a bad mood, and he said some things to me that shouldn't have been said, and I responded in a way that I shouldn't have. The audio and video was reviewed by the major, and I was sentenced to I think 2 weeks canteen, which is the sentence for a low court write-up, because after they reviewed the RVR, they saw that things were said by the officer that shouldn't have been said and didn't warrant the sentence that they was giving me for the write-up.
Then you had one in 21, another disobedience in 6, 7, and 21. That's the one at the gate. 1/6/22. Is that the one at the gate you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What about the one on 6/7/21?
Oh, I didn't have my blanket folded up on my bed. The officer came through, and I was at work. I leave out for work at 2 in the morning, and you have a certain time of the year that you have to have your blanket folded through, and I didn't have my blanket folded properly at the foot. My bed was made, but the blanket wasn't folded in the proper manner that they wanted it folded at the foot of the bed.
I got you. Kind of overlooked that thing. probably the incident at the gate, you probably need to try to, be a little more calm and in that scenario. But I understand sometimes people saying things that's not good, but you're there for a reason.
Yes, sir.
That's just all part of it. So tell me, do you have a high school diploma or GED?
Two of them. I completed my high school diploma in 2004, as well as two VOTECs, a VOTEC in 2005 and a VOTEC degree in 2006.
What was that?
I completed offset printing, and I completed auto body repair.
Auto body and what?
And offset printing.
Okay. And you graduated from high school, you said?
I'm sorry, I completed my GED in 2004 while at Wynn Correctional Center. And
what year did you drop out of school?
In the 11th grade.
Why'd you drop out?
The streets.
Learn the streets.
Yes, sir. The streets. I chose the streets.
Just to get in trouble or to do drugs? Were you a drug user?
No, sir, I wasn't. It was neither. I be honest with you, sir, it was life circumstances. It was the situation I was in, the upbringing I had, and the only thing I knew was the streets. The way I was raised, the environment I was raised in, the community, the things that I was raised in, the things that I was involved in, it just everything led me to the streets. I don't want to go into detail about my mother and the things she did in life, and I don't make excuses for the wrong I did, but I had nothing and I had no one. And the streets, that's all I knew. And that's what took me down this path. It was.
So you didn't use any drugs, you didn't use any dope, alcohol, drinking, nothing?
Sir, the only drugs I ever done was marijuana. And I cannot stand alcohol. I don't drink. I have smoked marijuana. Yes, sir, I have.
Have you smoked? Have you been tested hot while you've been in jail? You had any drug write-ups since you've been incarcerated?
Yes, sir, I have. Yes,
or bad urine? How long ago was that?
The last one was, I think, was in 2020. And if you allow me to explain.
Yeah, hey, explain.
Please. The whole dorm was tested, and my cup tested positive for amphetamine, and I'm not disputing the write-up. My cup tested positive for amphetamine. We were taken to the infirmary, and the major allowed me to give I told the major that, excuse me, I'm nervous. I'm sorry, please.
Okay.
Please, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Tested positive, major said what?
Yes, sir, I tested positive for amphetamine. We went to, the process here at RCC is you're taken to the infirmary for your test to be confirmed by the medical staff. When we got to the infirmary, I told the major that I wasn't involved in no methamphetamines. I never done amphetamine. He allowed me to give a separate urine sample into another cup. I gave a urine sample, that cup tested negative, but I was still found guilty for the dirty urine because one cup tested positive. But at the time, I was the nurse notified the major that the medication that I was on may have gave a positive reaction to the amphetamine. I was taking, I don't remember the exact name of it, but it was a medication for sinus infection, and I was taking pain pills from the dentist for the teeth I was having pulled. And I also have dirty urines in my jacket from prior to this one. The last one was maybe 10, 12 years ago for marijuana. That's the only dirty urines I have is.
All right, so what kind of classes have you been taking? What have you been doing to better yourself? I mean, this is a pretty significant crime you've been charged or been convicted of. Tell me what you've been doing to better yourself. What kind of classes have you taken?
Yes, sir. From day one, when I entered DOC, from 2005, I started drug education therapy. I was taking victim awareness. It's AVAL now, but I took victim awareness then. I've been continuously involved in AANA ongoing. I completed 12-step. All of these things were done before I even knew I had a parole date. I didn't even know about this parole date until January. But I've continually been trying to better myself from day one. From the minute I hit the Department of Corrections, I've been continually trying to be a better person and show that I'm a better person.
So you've taken, what about living in balance? What about thinking for a change? Any of those classes?
I've never taken, I have, sir, I did take living in balance. I lost a lot of my certificates. A lot of my certificates were lost in a house fire that my family went through. And I was under the impression that DOC was, that the facility was keeping up with those certificates, but they wasn't. I have numerous of classes. That's what I was doing to pass my time, to try to stay out of trouble. I was taking all these classes, and like I said, I have a lot of them certificates now from the recent ones, but a lot of my certificates were lost. And I have no way of proving this, but the truth is I did take a lot of classes. I've never taken the Thinking for a Change. I signed up for the class, but I wasn't, they never placed me in it yet. I was put on the waiting list for it.
Okay. And you think you took living in balance?
I know for sure that I took living in balance before.
Phase 1 and phase 2?
I don't remember the pages, sir. It's been a while.
Phase 1, there's 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2.
Oh, yes, sir. I thought you said phase. I did phase 1. Yes, sir. I never did phase 1. Yes, sir. I did phase 1.
Not 2.
I misunderstood you. I thought you said pages.
Yeah, you're right. They don't have a record of some of those, but you know, you're telling me you took it. And they have record of you taking some classes, personal development, problem solving, anger management, victim awareness, all the pre-release.
Yes, sir. Those are the classes that I've taken here. Most of them I took here.
Right. That's right. What's your plans? Where are you gonna go? What you gonna do?
Well, it's not a plan. It's what I'm going to do if I'm released. My ultimate goal, the end result is I want to play it forward. I want to work with children. I want to keep kids from the situation that I'm in. I want to help them not go through this. I grew up in basically a no-parent home, if truth may be told. Not a single-parent home, basically a no-parent home. My mother was addicted to crack, and she was never there. And that's why I'm trying to explain that the streets was all I knew. The life and crime was all I knew. The guys in the neighborhood that were having things and driving around in these flashy cars were all I knew. And I wanted to be a part of that. I didn't understand, and ignorance is not an excuse, sir, but I didn't understand order. I didn't understand correction. I didn't understand obedience. I didn't understand those things, therefore I didn't have a respect for them. And excuse me, I made a lot of mistakes. I did. I made a lot of mistakes, but that's not who I am. I'm disgusted by who I was. I'm disgusted by what I did. I'm disgusted by the role I played in these crimes, but that is not the person I am. That is not who I am.
All right, Warden, you got any input for us?
Cedric said he's the head baker, and he's right. He's pretty dang good. He cook a lot of things out here that for special events that most people don't realize comes out of a prison kitchen. So he's good at that. He's been whatever we needed him to do along any lines other than that as far as kitchen work. He did have a little setback at the gate with the officer, but you know, his conduct is, you don't hear his name a lot.
Okay. All right, thank you. You can answer Mr. Rochelle's question. Thank you, Warden.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Littleberry. How are you?
How are you, sir?
Good. You've done a lot of talking this morning. And you downplay your disciplinary record. So let me talk now.
Yes.
Mr. Littleberry, you've lost 917 hours of good time. That's 2.5 years off your good time date. You said the last intoxication before 2020 was 10, 12 years ago. How about your write-up in 2015, the number 14 for intoxication, where you lost 90 days good time and you was taken to a maximum lockdown? Tell me what that was for.
Sir, that incident happened at Dixon Correctional Center. I was given,
Were you incarcerated?
oh, yes, sir, I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question, I'm sorry.
So tell me what that write-up was for number 14 in 2015, where you lost 90 days good time and you were sent to maximum lockdown.
Yes, sir, I smoked a cigarette that was laced with synthetic marijuana. That's what that was. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, that's what that was.
And in the last 9 years, you've had about 12 contraband write-ups and been sent to restricted housing at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times.
Yes, sir.
So your disciplinary conduct is deplorable. It's terrible. And your last write-up was in 2022. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you said it was a year and a half ago. It was only 15 months ago.
That was January of 2022, sir.
Right, 15 months ago.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't a year and a half ago. You tend to ingratiate and make yourself look better than you actually are. A parole hearing is all about telling the truth, telling exactly the way it is.
Yes, sir.
And you try to ingratiate everything about your incarceration.
I understand.
You said that a year and a half and it was.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. You're correct.
Because I just wanted to let you know that we have the record, we have your extensive criminal history, we know you have a poor supervision history, and we know you have law enforcement opposition, and the DA's office is adamantly opposed to your early release. Thank you, Mr. Littleberry.
All right, now we'll hear from Adrian Shaw. I'd like to make a brief statement.
Yes, sir. I am Cedric's oldest sister. I know that Cedric has not had a perfect record, or even at times a good record with disciplinary issues. But what I can say is that he is not the same person that he was when he was first sentenced. He has made some mistakes, but he has also learned from those mistakes. He has grown a lot. He has had his life transformed over this time. Growing up, we didn't really grow up together, and I've always felt a sense of responsibility for not having helped him more. And I wasn't really in a position to do that. And I know this is really about him, but what I'm about to say is that I serve as the opioid prevention outreach coordinator for the Louisiana Department of Health for Region 8. I'm also a founding member of the Northeast Louisiana Recovery Coalition and a member of the Reentry Coalition. So I work with people every day who are rebuilding their lives, who have made some mistakes, but have supports that help them. And I'm just asking for the opportunity to be that for my brother, for him to have an opportunity to live a life with the supports that he never had growing up. Cedric was a really young man when he came into custody, and he's not that same little boy that he was. He's changed and he's grown to become a man. And I am asking if you will please give him the opportunity to show forth and go forth being the person that he now is and not the situations and circumstances that he was a part of. Thank you.
All right, now we'll hear from Ms. Deidra Towson. Ms. Deidra here. Deidra, would you like to make a brief statement? You're on mute. There you go.
She's on mute still.
Okay, go ahead. Nope, you're on mute. All right, go ahead and make a brief statement.
Okay, my name is Deidra Towson. Cedric Littleberry is my brother, and I have watched Cedric grow. I watched him grow from a kid up until now. Cedric has made a lot of mistakes in his life. He used to wouldn't own up to his mistakes or take responsibility for the things that he's done, but now he has taken full responsibility for the things that he has done, and he's trying to better himself and make a better life for himself. So I'm here to support him. I have the opportunity to be able to give him employment and be able to give him a place to stay and to be able to help him be a better him in the time to come. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now hear from Kendrius Towson. Brief statement.
My name is Kendrius Towson, and I am Cedric's nephew. I was just a very little kid when he went into incarceration. And through these years, my mom and him have ensured that we developed a strong relationship, our relationship has stayed strong, and that we had the opportunity to know who our uncle was. We are a family of strong ties. We help each other, and we've been on this journey with my uncle for the last 23 years. And through those years, I've seen him grow. I've seen him mature, and he's turned out to be someone that I can look up to in the aspects of being redeemable, in the aspects of being of accountability, and in the aspects of making the best of a situation, and there are consequences for your actions. I am a critical care nurse practitioner, and I've built myself a successful life. And through that, I am able to help and support my uncle on this journey. We are a family of strong ties. He has a lot of support behind him. And I know that I have no reservations that he will make the most of this opportunity to be successful and to re-enter society a better person. And I'm just asking he be given that opportunity, and that he has a lot of support behind him. And we know that he's going to make the most of this opportunity. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your comment. George, would you like to make any type of statement? George?
My name is
George.
Adrian Shaw.
Okay, you'd like to make a statement? Okay, I'm sorry. Safe, we'll go ahead.
Thank you. I had just turned 18, not even 3 weeks before, whenever I got robbed at work that night. And that bullet almost went through the back of my head. And 24 years later, I'm 41 years old, and I can't even sleep at night by myself because I'm scared of what's in the dark. I can't go places after dark by myself. I'm scared to let my kids go to work. And it's trauma. I understand people do change. But there's some things you can't change. Cedric can't change what he did to my mind. And he can't change what my life is. I didn't even have time to grow up. Ever since then, I can't even be by myself at dark. And this is something I want people to think about.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
I almost died that night. And I didn't even do anything wrong. I was just a kid trying to work. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So sorry. Thank you for your comment. All right, Cedric, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, sir. I fully understand everything that that my victim has went through. I did not act in these crimes alone, but I take full responsibility for what I did. I know the physical pain will heal, even though I never hurt anyone a day in my life. I know that the mental anguish can last a lifetime. I know that the role I played in that crime may have damaged her for life, and I know that I hurt her. And I ask God every day to forgive me for what I've done. I cry myself to sleep sometimes when I think about the pain that I've caused, when I think about what I've done to my life, when I think about the hurt and the things I put my family through. But at the end of the day, sir, it's not about me anymore. It's these changes I made in my life, the things I'm doing with my life, it's not about me. It's about my family. It's about people like my victim, like the victim of this crime. It's about the kids in my life, my grandbabies, my great nieces and nephews. It's about them. It's about, how can I say I love them if I continue to live the way I was living? How can I say I love myself if I continue to do the things that I did back then? I just beg for forgiveness. I pray to God that she finds it in her heart to one day forgive me. I understand the hurt. I understand the pain. And I am truly sorry. I am truly sorry for the roles I played in this. It's words I can't even explain the way I feel, the hurt that I feel, the disgrace I feel in myself. I apologize to you, sir, on the end, if you feel as if I was trying to build myself up into something that I'm not. I put so much of the things that I've done at the back of my mind because I didn't want to face the wrong that I have done. I tried to hide from it. And I just recently learned to come to cope and come to grips with life and circumstances and the wrong that we do in life. And I know that, again, I know that the mental pain, the mental anguish lasts a lifetime. And I'm not who I was. And regardless of the decision of this board today, I'm going to continue to change and continue to be better and continue to move forward in life and continue to try to be the best person that I can for those in my life that love me and for myself and for God, because this is not who I am. That is not who I am. The crimes, the mistakes I made, the crimes I was a part of, me allowing people to manipulate me to do some things that I knew was wrong, that's not me. And I just paid you, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you for your comment. Appreciate your comment. Council prepared to vote. I'll vote first. Appreciate those comments. Appreciate the things that you said. You know, this is a significant crime. It's caused a lot of damage and a lot of pain for a lot of people. Your victim, for your family, for everybody involved. And I want to thank you, victim, for being here. I know that was difficult. I think, you know, I do think you are headed in the right direction. I don't think you're there just yet, but you know, you are headed in the right direction. You need to get those disciplinaries under control. You've had a good job for a while. You've stayed in there in an area that says a lot. Look, I would, you know, what's been burned up or what hadn't been burned up or whatever classes you hadn't taken. We don't have record of like thinking for a change and living in balance, victim awareness. Those are classes I'd like to see you take. So if you come back in front of me, I'd like to see you get those again. I see you have taken the pre-release, classes, but which has a component of all of those different things. You know, I'd like to see you. You know, I think you need to get your disciplinaries under order. And I think you need to take some more classes and really get down to what before what happened. But today, for me, my vote is to deny your parole. But you're close. Keep working hard. And you'll get there, Mr. Rocho.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Littleberry, I really think that you turned the corner, which I need to see a longer period of time where you have no disciplinary write-ups and continue the positive things that you're doing while incarcerated. One victim says the patients are delightful. I want you to continue doing what you're doing, and I want you to stay right up free for a significant amount of time, right back and writing a different story. My vote is the same as Mr. Kelsey.
Ms. Renata?
Mr. Littleberry, you're so close. You're so close. But, your conduct record is what it is, that's causing me some problems. I do agree with my colleague, my vote today is denied, and after a more sustained period of staying right up 3, reapply. I think you'll have a different outcome. You don't get any right.
All right, 3 votes to deny today. Your parole's been denied. Good luck to you.
We'll get that. Yes.
How do you feel about that? It was one of those interesting. It was like an interesting hearing. It was kind of like going, I thought, pretty smoothly for him, and then Mr. Roche came in, and he's like, "What'd he say? I've given you time to talk. Now it's my turn." He's a smooth talker. I mean, he is one of the better that I think we've heard. I'd love to taste his, he's a baker. And as Ms. Renata said, yeah, he is close. It's interesting, when the victim came to speak, for me, it felt like it was kind of like out of right field. I wasn't expecting it. And it hit home. I mean, it really, it's like these things when you don't have when there's not a death to a crime, or there's not like a physical injury, but there's still that psychological terror that can follow someone for the rest of their life by having a near-death experience. It's not something that maybe a lot of us think about, or at least I don't. And I think it begs the question, if there is a time stamp that you would put on a victim's who hasn't been physically harmed but has been emotionally harmed to that extent, is there a place where it's where it should have a lesser of an impact on a sentence and on a decision? And I think regardless of whether, in this case, I don't think they based the decision off of the victim impact statement. I think it was simply off of his record and them wanting to see more time without a write-up. And they probably will let him out next time he's up for a hearing. And it's unfortunate for him that, all of his programs might have been lost in, a fire? That's just bad luck. But certainly seems that he's turned the corner, and you might argue that this is, or at least he's turning the corner, and you might argue that prison was the best thing for him. He was going down a pretty bad path, and this might be one of those cases where rehabilitation worked and where the system worked. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of that, and also my new background. What do you think? It's the first time I'm using it. But with that, I'll let you go.